live and you almost saw Alejandro dancing. That was so close. Like the moment you realize the camera is on, he just stopped. But behind the scenes, guys, let me tell you, he likes to dance to that tune. And me too. I mean, it's a lovely vibey song. How are you, Alejandro?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing great. Being with you is can life get any better?
Oh, thank you for the compliment, my brother. I appreciate it. Engage with you. And you know what's even better? We are creating, and the KAPPTOR Connection Conference is just around the corner, 28 to 30 April. Guys, you have to get your ticket ASAP. Get your spot. It's going to be 3 days, 6 explosive topics, and 18 international speakers. Now, I have people that have reached out to me. The website is under construction at the moment. Unfortunately, the payment portals are under construction, so you have to pay by the following manner, in the following way. If you want your ticket, you pay a PayPal amount over to info@cityonahill.co.za. info@cityonahill.co.za, and put the word, the letters KT and your name, and then we know that is for the conference. So please don't miss your ticket because the website is under construction. Make sure you get your spot. For everyone that reached out to me, that is the way. I'll also send it in the DMs. And we are here today not only to highlight 2 speakers, but also to speak about the art of delegation, which is one of our topics. So would you take us away, Alejandro? How do you approach the art of delegation in your business?
Well, Jay. First of all, I mean, let us begin with this. Um, every leader needs to improve and needs to consistently take their leadership to the next level. And one of the ways to do that is to be able to delegate. Because what happens
Yes.
when what happens when we don't delegate and we take
Yeah.
on things and projects and more things, and we don't, great leaders, sometimes we get into the habit of not being able to say no, and so we keep on taking things and more and more and more and more, and we think that we can do all of it ourselves, and then we end up either not fulfilling our promises, because obviously, I mean, there's only
Yeah.
24
Yeah.
hours in a day, um, and
Yep.
that's not good. Or we just end up with burnout. We end up being sick,
Yes.
and so forth. And so that prevents us from keep on leading and keep making a difference and keep influencing and doing the job that we have to do. So the art of delegating is very important, and as leaders we have to learn how to delegate. Now let me bring a caveat to this, because everybody says, yes, I mean, delegating. Yes, delegating is important. But even more important, I believe, and perhaps Jay can share something on this, is not just delegating, but is who are you delegating to? That's critical, because if you are delegating perhaps an important project to someone who is irresponsible, then guess what's going to happen? Uh, the bullet is going to fire back at you. So you have to know who you are delegating to. And it has to be a person that is approved. There has to be a person who you can trust, that you like, and who really, I mean, is not going to let you down. That's important. And so basically, once you delegate, and every leader has like an inner circle. You have an inner circle of people who are very close to you, people who are very important to you, people who have your vision, and people whom they are approved. I mean, you have dealt with them for a long time, and you have their trust and they have your trust. Well, out of that inner circle, that those are the people whom you would go first to delegate, because you know that they are going to do the same job with the same quality and the same determination as you would do them. So that's the beginning of what I would say delegation is all about. I mean, what do you think, Jay?
I have to agree with you, Alejandro. And we put the topic there as the art of delegation, not just delegating, but what is the art of delegating. And the reason for that is there's a few things to take in calculate, or to take into calculation. And that would be, the first thing is that when you have someone that you're going to delegate tasks to, do they see the vision? Often I find in the business space there are individuals that have a vision within the business's vision. That doesn't work. When you delegate to someone, make sure they are clear of the vision of what the business is pursuing, what's the mission, what's the vision, what's the purpose of what they are doing. Because obviously, when you delegate to them, they become a branch of the business. So that would be my first thing is, make sure that they are with clear about the vision, and that's your role as the CEO or as the founder or as the owner. The onus is on you to make sure that when you delegate it to a certain individual, that they are clear about the vision. That's the first thing. The second thing is that you need to be able to make sure that they are skilled in that arena or in that field, because you cannot delegate tasks to someone who does not possess the skills for the task at hand. Of course, we have to also realize, that you cannot overload one individual. I've seen that in the corporate space before, multi-talented employees, but when they receive tasks, it's an overload. And that's not the point of delegation. The point of delegation is to make sure everybody copes, like you said, because life happens. We're busy. We can't be every place all the time, all the places all the time. We have to focus on one thing to be effective. So I would say the vision is very important. Make sure, as the owner, the CEO, the founder, is the vision clear? What is the end result that you desire? Secondly, are they skilled? And thirdly, don't overburden only some employees. Make sure that when you appoint employees, that they are at different areas of the business, so that the workload does not become too heavy. Because you know what stifles the growth and the innovation and the inspiration of employees is when they are overtaxed. When there's too much going on, they cannot cope with their own day. We are there to facilitate a good working relationship, to facilitate everyone's personal and development, personal and professional development and growth. And we only do that through teamwork. There's a reason why there's a saying that no man is an island. We can't do everything ourselves. There's a reason why we say teamwork makes the dream work, because in the past it has transpired that is actually the truth. We need people around us, but we need solid people. And the fourth point I want to add is loyalty. We live in a world where we need to cultivate a culture of loyalty. If we are not actively promoting that and facilitating that, not assisting our employees in that growth process, because what are we putting out there? And of course, when we want to promote loyalty, we have to be able to show that we ourselves indeed are loyal to them. Now, I always say people reciprocate what you send them. So always send them love and light. Always send them good energy. Make sure that you uplift them. Make sure that you help them before you ask them to help you. That speaks into their minds. That creates that culture. That creates that framework. That changes their worldview. Because remember, even when we work with teams, we can even come from the same country, but we don't come from the same households. We don't always come from the same cultures. We don't always have the same background. So we think in a different manner. And the art of delegating is something that I think has not been presented on enough. I think we're going to delve very deep, take a deep dive into this topic when we are in the conference at the KAPPTOR Connection 28 to 30 April. So, with that, it's a very important, ongoing, contemporary topic, and that's what we like to bring you here at the KAPPTOR Connection. Now, today we're going to highlight two amazing international speakers, and those are going to be Justin Willoughby. He's first on our list. Justin Willoughby, amazing public speaker. He's a health coach. I know him very well. We were on some conferences together before. And we also have the Health Power Half Hour. We get online once a week and we talk about exercise and we talk about diet and we talk about how to approach the mental space when it comes to health and fitness, because it's not only a physical space, it's a spiritual space, it's a mental space, it's a space where you are putting yourself out there, throwing yourself into those deep waters and saying, well, I'm at a point where I need to do something about my physical health because I know it's going to affect every other area of our life. So look out for our health power half hour sessions. We've taken a little break because I've been traveling and he was completing some projects, but we're going to get back onto that soon. And of course, the best thing, and I know you know this, Alejandro, is that Justin Willoughby is not only speaking about health, he's not only speaking about, he actually went down from 800 pounds and he lost 600 pounds of that. 600 pounds. Let me tell you, that is a milestone. The tenacity, courage, the power, the inner strength, that inner talk, that mindset that it took to lose 600 pounds. He has a podcast. You're going to elaborate on that. Amazing individual. I'm so blessed to know him and to call him my friend, and excited to have him at the KAPPTOR Connection Conference. And the dates, I'm going to repeat those: 28, 29, and 30 April. It's online. Alejandro always likes to say the following. He says, guess what? You can even sit in your PJs at home with your camera off and just enjoy it with us. It's an experience. So tell us more about Justin. Alejandro, I know you have a few points you want to raise.
Sure. I mean, the fact that well, first of all, I mean, Justin is going to be one of the speakers at the conference, and he's going to be talking about health and fitness. And let me just share with you this. He's got a podcast, a very well known and attended podcast, the 600 Pounds Down podcast. And like Jay said, Jay mentioned that he went and he lost 600 pounds. Now, stop right there and let me ask those of you who are watching us live now or who are going to get the replay of this recording. 600 pounds. Now, you know that at the beginning of every year, most people, they begin to do New Year's resolutions. And pretty much every single year, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people, they decide one of my resolutions is going to be getting fitter, health. I want to become healthier. I want to lose X number of pounds. Now, I have never, very rarely, I've seen people that says, I want to lose 600 pounds. I mean, I just want to lose a few extra pounds. I want to lose 30, maybe 40, maybe 50 pounds. Okay? Now, Justin Willoughby, he lost 600 pounds. Now, I am sure that if you were to ask him, how did he lose 600 pounds? Yes, it was, I mean, perhaps doing a diet. I mean, being aware of the things that he was eating. But you know what? I'm sure that was definitely part of it. But I think that what was most important, is what was here. What was
Yes.
his mindset? What was
Yeah.
his thinking about losing those 600
Mm.
pounds? Because otherwise, he
Yeah.
would never have been able to do it. So, first of all,
Mm. Mm.
before he changed his eating habits, he had to
Yeah.
change his thinking habits. And isn't that
Yes.
with everyone? Before you actually commit to doing something, is not the actual doing of something, is the
Mm.
thinking
Mm.
about doing something that has to change. Everything starts with here, with the brain in between your two ears, and that is going to control your behavior and your actions and everything that comes afterwards. So I am so
Mm. Mm.
thrilled, I mean, to have Justin, because I want to hear from him perhaps what happened and what went on with him as he engaged in that process of losing
Mm.
600 pounds. I mean, that's going to be remarkable.
It is phenomenal. It's not often that you hear that someone has the ability to do that. And, I know his personal story and all the challenges, and I'm not going to spoil it here for you. Come to the KAPPTOR Connection Conference and hear it. But, the challenges that he faced as a person, as well. It wasn't that he just decided, oh, I'm going to do this and everything was made easy. No, he had to take that courage and be brave and say, I will not give up. I'm going to do this. I will not stop. I'm going to make it another day. I will lose that weight. And, he even took it further and became a public speaker as well. He has his podcast. We have our live Health Power half hour. And I believe he's also an author. So he's such an amazing individual to know. And, we want people like those out there uplifting others' lives. Because who better to go to if you are facing an obstacle? Who better to ask for mentorship? So we're going to
Yeah.
definitely have Justin display his services on the KAPPTOR Connection Conference as well. Which brings me to a point that you made about, our mental state and how we think. He's a very, very close friend of mine. He does energy healing and he does meditation. When I was in Jersey earlier this year in January, he sent me his two Divine Dirt books, and you're going to show the audience his book. Mine is in South Africa. He sent me this beautiful parcel, guys, all the way to Jersey with his two books. The one book hadn't even been released yet. It only released like 2 or 3 weeks ago. And a tumbler and a pen and all these beautiful cards, which I hold very dearly. And Michael is my go-to person when I travel, when I give, when I do public speaking, when I'm busy with big projects. He's my go-to person to spend a meditation session with. And I'll never forget, I landed in St. Louis the evening very late. And a day or two later, we had a meditation session where he just centered me and got me ready for my next upcoming event. Sometimes, yes, we know how to meditate. Anyone can meditate, but sometimes you need that deep meditative state where you need someone to sit with you and to just, help you to release all the external stressors, stressors of moving, because I moved before I traveled, and traveling. And it was just wonderful session again. I can vouch for his meditations, absolutely phenomenal. If you want to purchase his products, divinedirt.net. He's got amazing merchandise out there. But one thing I want to add, Alejandro, that Michael teaches, and that's actually a biblical principle, is that we do not think from our brain to our heart. It comes from our heart to our brain. And the Bible says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. And I want to add to what you said, which was very interesting, and I agree. When we think about something, that becomes our reality. And we are taught that from our heart, that's the wellspring of our life. That's why the Bible says, protect your heart. As a man thinks in his heart, so is he. So we think in our heart, we are convinced here about something. It becomes our thought pattern, our mindset. It becomes our words, it becomes our actions in that order. And if you want a wonderful meditative session with Michael LeBlanc, please reach out to him. He's going to be bringing a fantastic presentation, just as Justin is going to be. So I'm going to hand over to you. Let's talk about Michael. Show the audience his beautiful book. I believe the photos in his book are all from his own garden. Can you believe that? How amazing is that?
Oh yes, oh yes. And before I do that, I mean, can you see this that I have in my bag here? It says, "Follow your heart; it knows the way." You know,
That's beautiful, brother.
that's that's what Michael LeBlanc is all about. It is not so
Yeah.
much following your intellect and following your brain and following your
Yeah.
mind, although that is important. But even more important is follow your heart, because
Absolutely.
I heard it so many times. The heart is our second brain. You see,
Yeah.
it's not that we
Stomach.
have
The
one
stomach
brain
is the
here and a heart. No, we have one brain here and a second brain here. This is literally a second brain. And some people question that this brain here, the heart, is even more important than the actual brain that we have up here on top of our head. And
I guess
and
it
that
is. I
but
guess it is.
yes, but Michael LeBlanc, I mean, he was in our first conference, our first KAPPTOR Connection Conference, and
Yes.
he shared with us a great meditation, and
Yes.
he's absolutely incredible. I mean, this is the book that Juanita was talking about, Divine Dirt.
Yes.
It says
Yes.
inspirations, spiritual teachings, and gardening tips. And Juanita said yes. I mean, all the you see these beautiful
Oh,
flowers.
it's so
They
beautiful. Wow.
they are from his own garden. I mean, not only he is a spiritual teacher, um, a speaker, but he's also a great photographer. I mean, we have plenty of great photographers in our Connected Leaders Academy.
Yes.
I and look at what it says in this. It says beliefs are like seeds. Plant
Hmm.
wisely. Beliefs are
Yeah.
like seeds. Plant wisely. And
Hmm.
and I tell you one thing. It's always as you interact with Michael Blank. Let's say that you come. Let's say that your day or your week has been extremely stressful, has been extremely busy, has been extremely perhaps challenging, and you come and you sit or you interact with Michael LeBlanc. And as he starts speaking, it's like he takes you from he takes you from that high stress situation and he brings you down to center
Calmness
yourself, to
and
calm.
being.
I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
brings you from the storm, to the calmness. and
Yeah.
he's got that way about him, is the way
Yeah.
that he speaks, the way that he shares, the way that he listens to you,
Mm.
is absolutely, you just enjoy that peace that comes from knowing him, and talking to him, and listening to what he has to say. And I'm so happy that he's going to be part of this conference as well. I mean, I don't truly know what message he's going to be bringing, but it doesn't matter what message he's bringing. Is going to be of tremendous value to each one of us, and to everyone
Yes.
who will participate of the Capture Connection Conference. So if you have not, I'm going to repeat it again. If you have not yet purchased your ticket for the Capture Connection, Jay, uh, it doesn't matter about any technical difficulties. I mean, when you're dealing with technical issues like a website and links and so forth, sometimes we get into um, the temporary difficulties. But if you want to
Internet.
purchase your tickets, go and
Yes.
follow what Jay said. Follow that link, and then you can submit your payments for the conference directly. I mean, to that PayPal account, and that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, just go and do it, because
Yeah.
this this is an experience. This is not a conference, even though, I mean, we call it the Capture Connection Conference. As a matter of fact, we
Yes.
may we may even have to change the name in the future. It's going to be the Capture Connection Experience, not just the Capture Connection Conference, because it truly is an experience, and we want all of you to partake of that experience. Back to you, Jay.
Absolutely, absolutely. To reiterate the payment details, the website is under maintenance. Everything's working on it except the payment portal. So we are trying to discern what the problem is. So in the meantime, for your Capture Connection Conference number 2 ticket, send a PayPal to info@cityonahill.co.za. One ticket costs you $97, and that's for 3 days worth of conferencing. There's going to be 6 topics and 18 international high caliber speakers. We've spoken about 2 of them today. Our topics are absolutely amazing. Today we spoke about the art of delegation. We've got health and fitness. We've got personal empowerment, personal and business discipline. What else do we have? Time management and scaling business. Guys, these are topics that are always developing. We never get to a
Yes.
place where we say, oh, no, I've arrived, I know everything. So register for the conference, get your ticket. We'll send you the links, and you are going to have a phenomenal experience with us. And with that, I also want to say that we have the recordings from the first conference, and they are being sold for $197 each. So if you don't get your ticket for this conference, you're going to lose out, because when you want to rewatch or purchase those, it's going to be $197. So guess what's the solution? Make sure you get in that room. I'm going to play a little video now before we do our final comments. I'm going to play a little video about the first conference edits. So look at this. Can you feel that energy, guys? That is the energy of the KAPPTOR Connection Conference. Make sure you get your ticket. We are excited to meet you. We're excited to engage with you and have that experience together. Any final words, Alejandro?
Well, of course. I mean, the KAPPTOR Connection Conference #1 was capturing your hearts. Capturing your hearts. The KAPPTOR Connection and I think that we captured far too many people's hearts. And that the KAPPTOR Connection Conference #2 is after we capture your hearts. Now what? Well, now it's time to
Yes.
elevate you. Elevate
Yeah.
you. You don't want to be the same that you were last year. I'm sure whether you are a business owner, whether you are an entrepreneur, whether you are a solopreneur, whether perhaps you don't even know what is going on with you and you want to get clarity and direction. Well, the KAPPTOR Connection Conference #2 is going to deliver great
Yes.
results.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's time to elevate yourself. And one of the ways that you
Yes.
elevate yourself is let us help in that elevation. Register for the
Mm.
KAPPTOR Connection #2. Register. Don't wait. Do it now. Thank you, Jay.
Absolutely. Thank you, Alejandro. Always wonderful to connect with you. I see Spencer Jones was on here. He says hi, and Dr. Oliver T. Reed. So excited. Thank you guys for your support and your love. Spencer Jones, of course, is the Prince of Positivity. I know him as a wonderful friend. And Dr. Oliver T. Reed, he has an upcoming conference, the MUD Conference, MUDD, and it's only for men. And we had a virtual coffee, and I said, well, I love what he presents, and I always love his conferences. I wonder if I put on a beard, if he will let me attend the conference. So we had quite a laugh about that. But look out for them as well. Follow them on social media, network with them. And we'll see you guys on the other side. Remember, I'm going to put in the comments where you can make your payment. Get your ticket today, get your slot today, and let's make the world a better place together. So, with that, we're going to sign out with our KAPPTOR video, and we hope you have a fabulous day. Goodbye.
Ta- Take care. Be well. Bye bye.
Oh my gosh, Alejandro, I caught you dancing. Sorry. Bye, everyone.
Be
Woohoo!
well. Bye bye.